what's up, y'all? TRL here, dropping my first post-game thoughts for the Cardinals. I know this video might be uploaded a little bit later than what usually my post-games would be, but it is what it is. So the Cardinals, they got the win. They beat the Saints in New Orleans 20-13. I'm glad that they got the win. Obviously, I mean, I know I probably don't sound like it, but at least they won. Still some things they need to clean up on. A lot that I was disappointed in for this game. And it's just, it was kind of a weird game. I'm not even going to lie. It was kind of weird. The expectations I had on this team definitely went down a little bit after. I know it's only one game. I know it's only week one. I know the Cardinals started the season on the road, which winning on the road to start off the year is never a bad thing. But at the same time, this Cardinals team should not be that close with Spencer Rattler. That is something that disappointed me a little bit. And Spencer Rattler looked pretty good for the Saints. I mean, he was, for the 46 times he threw the ball, for the completions that he threw, they were pretty good. The Cardinals' defensive line still cannot get to the quarterback. They had one sack in that game, but they had several opportunities to literally bring down Rattler, and they could not do it. So I need to see more. We need to see more from the defensive line. I know it's only one game. Maybe we'll see it a lot more soon. But based off of this first game, the defensive line and the offensive line was really atrocious. Kyler Murray had to run for his life a little bit. What else is new? He did get sacked a couple times. Cameron Jordan was murdering us the entire game. And it's crazy with how old he is, and he's still dominating, so I got to respect him for that. That was an insane game by Cameron Jordan. But other than that, Marvin Harrison Jr. looked pretty good. He caught a touchdown. He only had 5 catches for 71 yards. We'll see if he can get more next week. James Conner, I'm convinced that he kind of got injured a little bit because there were a lot of times, majority of times throughout the game, where we didn't see James Conner. We saw a lot of Trey Benson. So, and Trey Benson had a pretty good game as well. But what I don't understand is how in the first half they score 17 points. Here comes the second half. They don't run the ball. They keep throwing it with Kyler. It's like, what is Drew Petzing doing? I feel like he's the guy who's really holding back this Cardinals offense a little bit to what their full potential can be. Because with the offense that this team has on paper, you should be scoring more than 2 touchdowns against the New Orleans Saints. So Drew Petzing, I've never been a fan of him. As long as he's here, the offense is going to have their struggles. Kyler Murray, he looked pretty good. He didn't turn over the ball or anything like that. He threw 2 touchdowns, but it feels like going into year 7, he still does the same thing as far as throwing screen passes over and over again. His passes aren't really that deep. He doesn't really throw the long ball anymore, and it's like, that's not how we're going to win games. You got to find guys open on the deep threat. You can't just throw these little checkdowns and checkdowns and checkdowns. And while, yes, the Cardinals have a good backfield, running backfield, you can't really just, that can't be your entire game plan. The penalties were so annoying in this game. The one thing I'm actually very disgusted and pissed off about is that Will Johnson had an amazing game. Amazing game. He should have had his first career interception. He picked off Rattler, but then it got called back from a stupid holding call on the defense when the defender wasn't even tugging his jersey. But Will Johnson looked really good. He locked up Chris Olave, and he even had a really good hit on Chris Olave too in the game. So Will Johnson, he's looking like a stud after only one game. That is going to be our guy for the future. I don't know how this guy fell to the second round, but it's amazing that we were able to get him with where we were in the draft. It was incredible. I thought he was going to go in the top 15 or something like that, but crazy how he fell to the second round. Let's see what. But yeah, the penalties, they were really annoying. Budda Baker had a hell of a game too. That's continues to look amazing. But yeah, like I said, going into next week against Carolina, a team that has had our number for several freaking years, they really need to get the defensive line and the offensive line better. And the pass rush. Josh Sweat didn't have a sack, but he was getting to the quarterback and making pressures pretty good. So we'll see if he can get a sack or two going into next week. But they got Carolina next week. I'll drop a separate preview video for that game. They just lost their first game to, I believe, Jacksonville. So this is a team that's had our number for years. Let's finally get it done against them. It's ridiculous how we continue to lose to a team that we're so much better than. I really don't know how they have our number every year, but it is what it is. But Cardinals get the win to start off the season 20-13 against the New Orleans Saints. Overall, pretty good win. Hopefully we see more from the offense, but we'll see what happens next week against Carolina. Cardinals start 1-0. Pretty good feeling. Glad they got the win, and we'll see how they do next week. And I'll drop a separate preview video for that. So thanks for watching, and be ready for my preview video for next week against Carolina.